the classroom, learning, all that hard work, all those projects, listening to the teacher, writing everything down to get to graduation so we can move on to post-secondary education, wanting to turn education into careers. How can you make this happen? FLA 12. Turning your kids from this into this since the Charter of Rights. Hey parents, I hope we got your attention with that video for FLA 12. Some crazy things are possible because of FLA 12. For example, your kid could be Prime Minister of Canada. Why? Because you need to be bilingual to be Prime Minister of Canada. So how can we get this FLA 12? Very easy. Number one, make sure all the work's done. Super important. Deadlines are important. How do these deadlines work? Very easy. Google Calendar has all the dates for when we will stop doing the work in class. Those are the final dates for working in class. Anything you see in gradebook is the final date I will accept the work before I put a 0 in. So we just need to make sure the work comes in on time. What are we going to be doing while in FLA 12? Super easy. We're going to be doing a lot of reading and writing. We are currently doing a reading circle right now where they have to have discussions at the end of every section, and during these sections each group member has a different role to play during that reading. Super amazing stuff. At the end, they will be able to produce their own project. They get to pick whether they want to be in groups of 2, individually, or continue to work in their large group. Totally up to them, folks. Another thing we'll be covering is oral communication. We will be making sure that we are practicing the dialect and vocabulary that we are learning in FLA 12 to make sure that once we leave this classroom, we feel comfortable to communicate in any situation necessary that might come towards us. Another thing that's really important about this is the OPI exam. There will be no DELF this year, folks, because of COVID. It really is unfortunate. However, they can still do the OPI exam, which is an oral proficiency test. What's going to happen is they're set up for an interview where a former teacher will give them a phone call via Google Meet, and they will communicate for about 15 minutes. What can you do with an OPI? It looks great on your resume and college application, and it also shows a certain level of French that you are able to use to express yourself orally, something that might be very important in your career. You never know. We will also be looking at multiple French cultures. We'll be looking at the culture of French people living in Quebec, the Acadians, but also French people living outside of North America. Very important because French is the second most spoken language on the planet, folks. It's not just the language of love, it's also the language of travel. We'll be watching a show called District 31, which is available on Radio-Canada. It is a detective crime show that takes place in Montreal in the 31st District, and there are over 200 episodes for every season. We'll be watching season 4, and please feel free to watch these shows with your kids at home, because it's available for free on the link I've posted on Google Classroom. We'll be watching a movie called Le Petit Nicolas, which takes place in the 50s. The movie's actually quite recent, but it is during the 50s, and we follow a group of young French schoolboys as they get themselves in tons of trouble. We'll be working poetry, more so in song format. We could do a group novel. We're going to do applications, how to write a formal letter in French, how to write a Kijiji ad in French, what different apartment and rental and purchasing information might look like if you're trying to get yourself a place for university, if you're moving to another city or another country where they speak French, how you might try and get yourself an apartment. We're going to take care of all of that, create a board game. We're going to have a lot of fun in this classroom, folks, and we're going to use technology to the max. I encourage you to go on to Google Classroom and check out the syllabus with all the information of everything we're going to cover and the breakdown of the percentages for every unit. Last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the exam. It's a process exam, which means it'll take place before the exam period itself, the week before to be exact. And we will be covering all 4 major components of French: writing, reading, listening, and speaking. But I want to make sure this is clear right now. The speaking component is done at home. It can be either recorded on your phone as a video or an audio file, and you must submit it to me before the end of exam period. Please don't forget to do that. Very important part. That's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully I've covered everything you needed to know. If I haven't, please feel free to give me an email or a call. I'd love to hear from you, but that's the advantage of FLA 12. And how can we attain this? Very easy. Get your work done. Make sure it gets in on time. Make sure you put all the effort you can into it, and I guarantee success, folks, because being bilingual is priceless.